There's also I don't know if you guys remember me talking about a museum to anti-communism, the Victims of
Yeah.
Communism Museum. So that project is finally sort of squashed domestically, in no small part because the Ukrainian Canadian Congress had an SS veteran stand in front of Parliament and get and get introduced as a man who had fought the Soviets or fought the Russians rather, not during World War II, and then got a fucking standing ovation. And then it came out that he was not only an SS man, he was a completely unrepentant Nazi who had a blog where he was like, "This was the best time of my life when I went to Munich and I trained with my friends."
He had a blog?
He had a
wasn't
fucking.
wasn't he like 107?
He was in his 90s, but yeah, he was posting about how he loved his training in Munich. Ivan Kachanovsky from the University of Ottawa dug that up. He was posting in Ukrainian about how much he loved being in the Wehrmacht. You know.
I mean, well, Dan, like, what has been like the knock-on effect of that standing ovation? Because it was deeply embarrassing, but it doesn't seem like there has been any, this is just a stand-in for so much that's going on in the Anglo sphere. Is that like there are these, brutal and like, unexplainable like breaches in protocol and like our own laws in service of either fighting a war against Russia or fighting a war against Palestine. And it's deeply embarrassing, but there's never any, the media never allows it to gel into a story. Well, and there's never any follow-up, or there's never any like consequences to any of this shit. Because another story I see here from the Ottawa Citizen from this month, monument to Nazi collaborators shows need for more Holocaust education, special envoy says.
Like, how many fucking times do we have to do this? I mean, I have been talking about Nazi monuments in Canada for, I think, over 6 years at this point, and they just keep finding them. This one is in Elora, Ontario, which is a quiet little town outside of Guelph, outside of Toronto, and it's a monument to the Estonian Nazi division, who are basically fighting the Red Army. Their fix for this was to take the names of the Nazis off the monument, but leave the monument up. So, and like, what is happening with this? Like, is it creating any changes? The answer is sort of, because instead of building the anti-communism memorial for the price of $7.5 million in Ottawa, instead, the Canadian government is quietly building an anti-communism museum and Holodomor Museum in Ukraine for $15 million of taxpayer money. So,
wow.
So we're just moving the Ukrainians want it. We're moving the anti-communism museum back to the motherland, you know? If you're Canadian and you paid for it, you've got to get a ticket to Kiev to go see this.
That is really annoying. Fuck.
It is really fucking annoying.